And there we go. 4.5 minutes of additional time apparently was on the clock, but it's a comfortable victory in the end for Maidstone United. A 2-0 win over hosts Winchester City FC. And Nigel, all round, pretty simple performance, quite straightforward in the end.
Yeah, so we said the first half, didn't we, that wasn't much action, but from either side really, I think Maidstone were a bit guilty of playing the long ball. I know it was mentioned and we didn't really mention it on air, but the pitch wasn't the best, was it? It was very slopey. You went down behind that goal mouth before the game, and it did slope quite a bit from the right to the left, but it's both the same for both teams. But we come out in that second half, showed a bit more intensity, a bit more energy for that first 5, 10, 15 minutes, and bagged ourselves a few goals, the 2 goals, and saw it out quite comfortably in the end.
Yeah, I think coming into this game, obviously, it was a little bit latter, or a latter stage than to where we went out last season. I think maybe that might have been on the minds of the players. Obviously, don't want to exert yourself too early on. You don't want to maybe be a little bit too much on the front foot. Obviously, that cost us against Stenning. That goal that we let slip there was just because of a bit of sloppy play, a little bit of a lapse in concentration, and we ended up conceding that one. But we seemed a lot more composed, a lot more rigid at the back in this one, and of course that's what we like to see. We like to see another clean sheet, a second in a row, 4 wins on the bounce now, and George Edakobi's side, despite not looking so convincing in the first half, didn't really concede any chances. There was barely any shots on target, and really we looked very comfortable in the second half. Like you say, we come out, got the job done the first 10 minutes of the second half, and that was it. We see it out from there. And I think, looking at the additions of players who can come back into the squad from the injury list and the bench and things like that, De Graft, Korn, Greenwich, Petrasso, other players involved on the bench as well. I think this is looking like a really, really comfortable and good squad. So hopefully we get a pretty simple draw on Monday. Do you think you'd like an easy draw, maybe progress on to the next round, or do you want to maybe see another bigger side?
I think for a club like Maidstone, that's where the money is, isn't it? I mean, I know Sean's on our podcast, that's what he's always sort of dreamed of, getting that big money tie in the first round. It's been a few years since we've been to the first round proper, so for a club at our level, and we mentioned it, the other Kent sides that have got to this stage for the first time, it is about, this is a glamour tie for them, but for us, for Maidstone, I think it's just about getting a good home tie, or like get a home tie, and just about getting into that hat for the first round properly. I mean, we've done the hard work now. We've come to staying in the last round. Winchester now put in the performance, and hopefully, we can get into that first round, and you'll see that confidence starting to grow. You said it there yourself. The players to come back in now. You can see the tactics of George working. Mm-hmm. They know when to play. They know when to press. That they're getting used to each other now. And Coughlan's got that clean sheet behind him, which I think he deserved early doors, but never quite came. But he's got it now, and he wasn't troubled, was he? He didn't have a save to make, did he?
That simple little roller towards the end of the first half, but besides that, really nothing to write home about. And
another thing that's not to be underestimated with Coughlan is his positioning when those crosses come in. There was in that first half, especially if a keeper maybe last season not anything against the goalies we had last year, but if you stay on that line, that moment of hesitation, it gives teams like this that opportunity to just turn and lash away at that loose ball. But whereas Coughlan, his position is so good when that ball comes in that the opportunity is gone before it's even got there. So that's just something that you can't buy, can you? That experience as well. He's used to playing in the big games as well, isn't he? National League final, and he's been at that level. So it's just an all-round team performance, I think.
Yeah, and I think we'll see a few more of those coming up as well. So of course, that's going to be all from us today. the 30th of September has resulted in a victory. Next weekend, Saturday the 7th, Maidstone are going to be away to Torquay. That is going to be commentated by Sean Sker and, do you know who?
Darren Stiles, I believe.
Darren Stiles. So do stay tuned on Stones Live for all of that action next week. Of course, it's going to be a very tough game. Torquay have a very resounding win against Hungerford today in the FA Cup, so coming off the back of a big win for them, hitting a vein of form for both teams. Maidstone are going to look to increase their winning run to 5. So hopefully you've all enjoyed our show today. My name's been Joseph Parkhouse, and with me, Nigel Seeger. Thank you very much for joining me today, Nigel.
Thank you.
And we'll catch you all in the next one. Come on, you Stones.